Thanks for listening to our podcast, unMetered. As a member-owned, not-for-profit electric cooperative, our focus is on providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member service. One way that we're doing that is by providing more avenues of communication to you, our member. Through the podcast, we hope that you will be able to find some helpful hints, tips, and things to help you conserve energy, as well as some informational pieces that will help you understand what it means to be a member. Welcome to another episode of unMetered, brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric. Of course, we're extremely excited to have you here. I got a little tongue-tied there because, I'm a little choked up. This is your final podcast.
It is my last podcast. What number are we on?
This is going to be episode 72.
72 episodes.
That is
a whole lot of podcasts.
That's a lot of pods.
I mean, it's my last podcast ever. Leaving the cooperative.
Maybe not ever, but the last podcast for us here.
In this sort of situation.
For the unMetered podcast.
I mean, I may be a guest.
You might be a guest. So Josh is going to be leaving us after tomorrow. And of course, we are sad to see him go.
Extremely sad.
But also extremely excited for him and his new opportunities, which means that you're stuck with me.
That's a good thing. It's like gum on your shoe.
Sometimes you just need to stay where you're at.
That's exactly.
But of course, it's extremely exciting. And one of the things that we are excited about, of course, even though Josh is leaving, one thing that's not leaving us is experienced membership.
That's right. It's a great way to find out a little bit more about what it means to be a member, the cooperative difference. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is that as a member of a cooperative, it's different than it is with a municipality, than it is with an IOU, investor-owned utility. So, experience membership is great. I encourage you to go to experiencemembership.coop and check out, the different things that affect you as a member and that are benefits to you. So check them out.
Exactly. Another thing that is a great benefit is sharing change.
That's right.
And it's a benefit to our community, but it's also a benefit for our members in that this is a great opportunity for you to participate in something that's local. And 100% of those donations that you make stay local.
That's one of the, this is one of the coolest programs that I've seen come to fruition in my time here is to watch this program continue to grow and people to continue to learn about it and make a difference in their community. If you haven't signed up for it, you need to. It's real simple to do.
Very easy to do. You can do so by going to sharingchange.org. There you can sign up and you can find some testimonials and some other information about Sharing Change. You can also sign up by going to one of our local area offices, checking the box on the bottom of your bill, or giving us a call at 877-777-9020. It's very easy to get set up. It's a fantastic program. And of course, if you got any questions, give us a call, give us a holler.
That's right.
Again, we'd love to talk to you about it because it's one of our favorite things.
It is, and it's really simple. It's a good program. The past couple of days. Let me back that up. One other way you can do it is by going on the web, going to your My MTMC.
That's right.
To sign up there through the website, through the web portal. But that also gives you the opportunity, and this is why I backed up, because it's a great segue into outage communication. So if you have outages, we've had a couple storms roll through here lately.
Yep.
If you have outages, make sure and hit the button on your app, report it at 877-777-9111, or just, give us a call. Let us know you're out.
And by short storms lately, I'm literally short. I mean, on the way over here, Josh was in the front part of the office and said it's raining, and I was standing in the back of the office and saying, no, it's not. So it really depends on where you're at, but no matter where you go, you can download MyMTMC. You can actually report your outages through the MyMTMC app. It's super easy. And again, like I said, with those short storms, you never know what's going to come through. Heavy winds could easily create flicks and blinks and flickers. Again, report those because then our guys can take a look into it and find out what's going on there. So with that being said, actually, we've got some tips for you about some warm weather, which is one of the reasons why we have these storms coming through right now.
Man, I was walking over here and it is
it's very
hot.
Warm. Very
so
warm.
humid. So
it doesn't help that we sit in an office all day long.
Yeah, and there's no windows in this studio, minimal air conditioning. Even my house, we close the blinds, you close the heavy curtains. It's still warm, but there's things that you can do that are low or no cost. Surprisingly, turn your lights off. I mean, really, I don't know if it works, but it feels. You must think it works.
You must be a father because I mean that's what every dad says: turn the lights off. Turn the lights off.
It cools you down.
That's the one workout most parents get is walking around behind their children to turn the lights off.
That is exactly it. Turn the lights off, but I mentioned closing the blinds. When the sun's coming through those blinds, close the blinds. If you have heavy curtains or just curtains behind it, close those too. Well, it'll cool it off.
It literally does the opposite effect of if you've listened to our previous podcast, we tell you to open the blinds.
That's right.
To the sunshine when it's cold outside. So obviously, if it's warm outside, you want to flip that. Because again, most homes probably don't have the most up-to-date, efficient windows known to mankind. No one is changing out their windows every single year.
No.
If you do, I would love to talk to you and find out how you have that kind of cash on hand. But but again, these are very easy things to do because this doesn't matter if you own a home or if you rent a home.
That's right.
At the last apartment I was at before I bought my home, I did the exact same thing. I mean, it does make a difference because when it comes to energy efficiency, it's the little things that add up.
That's right.
But one thing that you can do that makes a big difference in a lot faster of a hurry is checking your thermostat regularly.
Yeah, ours is set a little lower than it should be because I like it a little bit cooler.
Of course,
we're right at 75. I mean, really, the best thing to do is find your comfortable temperature and bump it up a degree.
Yep.
And that's going to save you, about 3 to 5% annually on your bill. It's the same thing that we talk about in the winter, but just if 74 is comfortable, bump it up to 75. If 76, go to 77. Every degree counts. Yep. Every little bit counts.
Well, and actually, roughly the estimate is that for every degree that you raise it up during the summertime, you're looking at a 3% savings.
Yeah.
Again, that's just a rough average because the HVAC system does account for about 50% of your home of your home's energy consumption. Which, again, we don't think of it that way.
Right.
Instead, we think of it, oh, it's too hot, oh, it's too cold. You're not thinking to yourself, oh, I just raised my bill up by 10% because now it's sitting at 70 degrees inside because, it's 90 degrees outside. And I'm sweating. I'm hot. Luckily, there's the added benefit that a thermostat does not necessarily mess up like a heat pump does, where there's not an emergency cool or anything like that.
That'd be actually kind of nice.
That would be interesting. Maybe we should patent that.
I think what they need to do is for every time that with all these, with all the new thermostats coming out, every time you turn it up a degree or turn it down a degree to cool it off, you just hear the ching.
Yep.
That'd be fantastic.
We should tell Nest that they should invent something like that. They will then. Yeah, we'll see what we can do here.
We may both not be sitting here.
Hashtag trademark. But I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think so.
Another great thing to do, obviously, you got your lights. Ceiling fans are a great way to cool down. You raise that temperature up. However, when you leave a room, turn them off because fans do not cool rooms.
They cool people.
Exactly. They cool the people. And so, again, that's another situation where way too often, I leave my fans running on
all day long.
Now,
I'm terrible at it.
At night, I do it at night because I turn my thermostat is set a little, probably about 72, 73. It depends.
Jeez, what are you, an Eskimo?
Well, it depends. I have a mercury thermostat, so there's that little orange line, and you don't know whether you're getting a reading off the front or the back of the marker.
So it's the 70-ish.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as the back end is at about 72, I know I'm somewhere between 72 and 75. Close enough. But again, turn those fans off when you're not at home or if you're not in the room is an easy way to do it.
Right.
Of course, at night, I'm one of those. I leave mine running all night, my fan running all night long, just so that I'm comfortable. But of course, that goes with the territory. But there's a few things you can do that are actually just low cost. So those previous tips, they don't cost you anything.
Not really.
Maybe a little effort.
Right.
Maybe.
A little.
It depends. If you have home automation, it doesn't cost you anything at all.
Let's pick up your phone.
I just tell Alexa, turn off the lights. And I've been working on that. But
I think I'm going to name one of my dogs Alexa. Alexa, go to... No.
It gets real confusing for folks here. But some low-cost tips you can do to save yourself some energy and therefore money is when you're planting trees, shrubberies. Shrubberies?
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's not like fishes.
Shrubby?
Shrubby. All right. So, but if you plant your landscape in such a way where they shade the home a little bit,
right?
Especially those windows, because that's a great way. Again, you put the drapes over that, and then all of a sudden you've got some shade on your windows.
Drapes over the windows, not the shrubbery.
Yes,
they would look funny
unless it's Halloween. And so And so, again, putting that shade over those windows, putting that shade on the home in such a way where it naturally cools the home.
Right.
Again, it's a low-cost saving. Makes your house look better.
Right.
So raise your curb bill,
yep.
not your electric bill. And so that's,
Well, the one thing with planting shrubs, though, is just make sure that make sure you know where you're planting.
Oh, for sure.
Don't plant them around if you have underground or one of those big transformers out front. Don't plant them out around there. Don't plant them around the poles. The lines, anything like that. Just make sure you're planting where you should be planting.
And of course, always call 811 before you dig.
That's right.
It's an easy, free call that you can do, and somebody will come out and mark the lines for you.
That's right. They spray paint your lawn. Graffiti.
It's something like that. But another great way to do this is replacing the air filters in your HVAC system. Again, low cost. I actually buy mine in bulk from, for instance, I buy mine through Amazon. You can get them through filters.com. There's a number of sources that you don't even have to leave your house.
They just send them.
It comes to your house.
Yep.
And you put them in, and it's pretty easy. Actually, I overordered the last time, so I'm actually good for the next year. But luckily, they don't take up much space. So again, it's saving me money on my HVAC system. It's actually helping my HVAC system last longer,
which is a huge thing.
It's a great deal because my unit's like 20 years old. So I mean, right now it's almost as old as I am, and so we're trying to get every little bit out of it. So again, those little bitty things make a big difference. And of course, when you're landscaping, if you're going to be putting lights on your home or around your landscape, use solar lights.
Yeah.
Free energy. I mean,
why would you not?
I don't. Again,
they're cheap.
It costs you up front. They're cheap, and then all of a sudden you don't have to power those or run those annoying electric lines.
Oh yeah,
those little power lines in between each one, trying to dig them down in there, and then you cut it with a weed eater, and it's just
the cheap dollar ones that you can get. You hit them with a weed eater, it's $1.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Not the end of the world.
No.
But again, like I said, so if you got more questions about energy efficiency tips, of course, check out mtmc.com.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there.
There's a lot of great information there. Or you can actually go to one of our social media pages because, again, every single Wednesday, we've got a new little fella called Emmett Energy. Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. Emmett
is a good dude.
Is giving out some tips each week to let you know some ways that you can save. And he gives them out in such a way that sometimes you didn't even think about it.
That's right. That's right. It's very simple. Check them out. We have people here that will talk to you if you want to talk about some larger home improvements, energy efficient improvements. So just check out the website. All the information's on there, mtmc.com. Go check it out.
Well, before we wrap it up for today, just a couple quick questions for Josh. With Josh leaving, of course, he was here when he was on the first podcast. He was the official face of unMetered when we first started.
That's right.
If you've not seen the episode with Josh and Chris Jones, are the MTMC CEO and president. It's a longer episode. It's actually the shortened versions on there, which is about 20 minutes long. And so again, go back, check those out there. You'll see all these different phases of the podcast, the different phases of Josh in the process.
That's right,
including probably one of our favorite episodes.
Not episode 2. No.
All the other episodes.
My favorite episode, and I truly think that it was a turning point in the entire podcast, it was after our corporate office, our area had gotten flooded. Mm-hmm. We were parked over in one of our other buildings, and we were actually like, "Hey, let's do a podcast outside." And we were doing it, and everything was great
because they tore down our podcast studio to make room for
everybody for our contact center.
Exactly, because we can't shut down.
Yeah, so our contact center moved into where we had the podcast studio, so we were kind of homeless for a little while. We're sitting outside, and it was a great podcast.
Oh yeah,
and then all of a sudden, it happened.
It did,
and you could see it in the intro. It was a drive-by.
You got hit. Drive-by a bird.
That's right. It was awesome.
And it left a little residue. So
the thing
catches you off guard.
That was like the turning point of the podcast. It went from like the serious, we're out here giving a lot of information and this is great and we have all these people, to I just got crapped on and we will never be the same.
There's no turning back from that.
No.
I mean, we've had the moments where our community relations J manager became Mannequin J.
Yeah.
Where he stood still for probably a good long time. You'll see that in the intro as well.
That's on the intro too, which is hilarious.
But the moment where Josh was hit by a bird,
that was it.
An impressive shot.
Every podcast after that, there are serious notes and we talk about serious things, but there is comedy and
I don't know if comedy is the right word.
ish.
Makes you grin, slight chuckle.
It's the God, those guys are stupid, and we'll take it. It's all right. But that was probably my favorite episode, probably the turning point of the podcast, and the evolution has been great to be a part of.
Well, like I said, we're extremely thankful for Josh and the service he's had to Middle Tennessee Electric as the communications coordinator.
That's right.
Of course, if you do still have questions about communications, you can always still give us a call. We're going to still be doing the podcast. You can give us a call, like I said, 877-777-9020, or by going to mtmc.com and filling out a contact form. We'll get your questions answered. We love that. Josh, as we finish up here, of course, we want to remind members about Experience Membership.
Yep.
ExperienceMembership.coop. There you'll find information about the benefits of being a member there. Also, don't forget about sharing change.
That's right.
And of course, sign up for that. But as we finish off, Josh, tell me, what would you like to tell the large number of listeners that we have? 1,100 of them. I don't think that's a real term, but it's going to be our term.
That's
what would you want to tell them about the cooperative?
There truly is a difference. There truly is a difference in being a member and being a customer somewhere. The folks that work at Middle Tennessee Electric, and I don't just say this because I'm an employee and soon to be former employee, but I'm also a member. The folks that work here, their heart is of service, from the leadership to everybody throughout. We have our linemen who are out there, working in the elements. We have our engineers, our operations, our communicators, our contact center, just working for the membership. And I know that it's hard sometimes to see that, when bills are rolling in, but these folks do care. And, there are two groups of people. I mean, I could sit here and go on for hours for everybody that has affected me in the time that I've been here, but there are two groups of people that I just have a heart for, and that's our contact center. Simply because they talk to our members and they do such a good job, and our systems control operators.
Yep.
Because they are there 24/7. When Santa Claus is delivering presents, they're there. When Thanksgiving rolls around, they're there. They're watching the system. They're letting our linemen who are hard chargers know, hey, we have an outage. And then you talk about engineering and how great those folks are, making sure that everything's done. The rest of the communications, and our finance folks. There's too many to list. But truly, every one of the 400 plus employees that work here have a heart for service, and it starts with Chris Jones, and it goes all the way down through every single person. So, as I step aside and I walk away, I do so knowing that this organization has an amazing future, knowing that the leadership is doing everything that they can to serve the members. It's not about making money. I promise you that. It is not about making money. It's all about serving the member. Well, of course, Josh is leaving as an employee, but he is still a member of Middle Tennessee Electric. So we are excited to continue that service. And like I said, Josh will be paying attention to some things because, of course, he's a member. That's right. Again, thank you guys for listening today. Thanks for Josh for his service and the opportunity he's had on this podcast. Of course, it's helped get it up off of its little baby legs there at the beginning. Episode 2. And so, again, thank you guys for being here. Y'all have a great week. See ya. unMetered is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric.